Corey?
Here.
Mangum?
Here.
Jess, you there?
Here.
Jess Richardson. I get a motion for approval of the agenda.
Do you want to add in that one agenda item?
Yeah, I think that would be good. Do you want to just,
So we want to add in, make it item number,
well, they will do that. Just why don't you give them verbiage?
okay. So it's going to be discussion on new state statute regarding air testing in schools.
Got a motion to add, we'll make it what?
Yeah, I'll amend it. So we'll put the agenda with that change.
Okay. Second, Jess? Sure.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
That's number 5. Let's see. I got a motion to approve the agenda overall.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Is that what you just said? Okay. I wasn't sure if it was just adding the item. Have a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any public participation?
I have something that was sent and asked to be read. Sorry, let me find it. This is from Jason Lafreniere. Okay. Is he here? Yeah, no, he just sent, he wasn't sure if he was gonna make it. It just says, the social media coordinators for each school are doing a great job with promoting school and district events on social media. Each month, the district social media and website presence is being reported to the subcommittee, but individual school presence is not. I'm asking that the individual school social media presence start to be included in this report. This website, and I'll forward it to the board, allows me as the TMS social media coordinator to manage both the Instagram and Facebook pages for the school and gives me ease of seeing the insight to my posts. Currently, TMS has 1,076 Facebook followers and 349 Instagram followers. The attached are exports from this website showing data from the last month. So I'll forward that to the whole board.
Do we have to vote to add it?
No, it's just public comment.
Oh, okay.
And we could put it in the tech update. No big deal.
I have no problem with that too. Jess, you okay with that?
Sorry, yes, that's fine.
Okay. Did we approve the minutes? We did, right?
Yeah, so we're on to the discussion next steps. Okay.
Charlie boy. Oh, actually, Rachel first. I'm sorry.
Ladies first.
All right, so I have a few updates, some exciting news. We are finally getting our Apple Professional Learning Specialist from Apple. We've been waiting and she is finally coming. She is going to be starting with us on the 17th, so next Tuesday. Her name's Angela Lewis. We met her today. She sounds lovely. She has lots of experience. She's been a teacher in the classroom and she's also been an integration specialist, I believe she said, for 6 years now. And the last 3 she spent specifically doing Mac integration into a school. So we are very excited to have her. Can't wait. We're going to send out an email to all of the staff, letting them know that she's coming and how to make appointments with her and get in touch with her, especially the designated Vanguard group, who was the designated group of teachers who wanted to spearhead all of these programs on the MacBooks. Another update I have is that TEQ, the company that installed the smart boards, came out and did a site survey. So they went to all of the rooms that had smart boards installed, and they did a survey of which rooms were able to have that track that we talked about last time, making sure that, there was enough room for it, the wall could support it, stuff like that. So they are working on putting all of that information together and sending me packet to let me know which rooms are eligible. And then the next step I would like to take is to speak with each teacher in the eligible rooms and get their opinion on where they, would like this board, if they are happy with the current setup, if they want this sliding mount, just want to make sure that, the board is the way they want it in their classroom and functional for the way that they teach in their room. Also, over the winter break, we did the TMS Wi-Fi upgrade. So we removed all of the existing access points and put up new Meraki ones. This is going to improve the speeds and also our firewall capabilities when it comes to filtering. The team did a great job. We finished in, I think, 2 days it took us to remove all of the current ones and put up the new ones. And so far so good. We're, doing good over there. TMS, had some slower Wi-Fi issues on the 3rd floor. That's completely been fixed with these new access points. So yeah, that's what we've been up to over the past few weeks.
Thank you.
Busy times.
Yes.
Any questions?
I do. Rachel, just one quick question. You said the tech site survey, which rooms will support the track system? Will all of the rooms not support the track system?
So there were some rooms that didn't have, the smart boards mounted over the whiteboard.
Okay.
So we wouldn't need the track to move them out of the way. Also, there were rooms that just physically didn't have the space
Okay,
because it's very long.
right.
So they're compiling all of that information so that I have a list of which rooms are eligible.
Okay, great, thanks.
Yes, Sally.
On the Apple professional tax, how long do we have this person?
2 years.
2 years.
So yes. she'll
On
be
site, 2 years?
On site for 2 years, yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, very exciting.
So it'll be very helpful. And she
Yes.
loves doing the co-teaching as well as mentoring, and she's gonna have office hours where she's open to working with folks.
Wonderful.
So should help.
Yeah.
I just have one question. I was reading on the, I don't know, New York Times or Wall Street Journal, New York City shut down an AI app, not being allowed in the school system because it helps the children write essays and answer questions to tests. I don't remember the name. Are you familiar with it? I'm sure.
ChatGPT.
That's it. Exactly.
I'm-
You use it?
A little too quick.
Yeah. Can you say that again, Ed? What is it?
ChatGPT.
It uses AI, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Essentially, it's algorithmic learning. So as people interact with it, it's supposed to get better, right? So there's a lot of discussion about plagiarism, and really because it's not functionally plagiarism, right? It's an original essay,
Yeah.
but the student
Right.
just puts the prompt in and it can spit it out. And so professors at the collegiate level are already dealing with it.
Shut it down. The school.
Trickle down.
Shut it down in the New York City school system.
Interesting. No, I did not hear
Most of the
about
kids.
that, but that is definitely something that I would like to look into.
Yeah, it's out there.
Waterbury Republican had an article this past weekend in the Sunday paper, and the columnist included a couple paragraphs that had been written by this program,
Oh, thank
and
you.
it
Really?
sounded like
Mm.
a sort of a sterile high school essay, but it was competent.
Right. Well, that's
Like one of mine.
Yeah.
So there already, there are competitors now who are working to develop tools similar to the ones that can detect traditional plagiarism that will be able to detect whether or not a particular essay or assignment's been written by ChatGPT. So it's sort of a race for legitimacy.
Crazy.
I
Yeah, it is
appreciate you
crazy.
bringing that to my
Yeah.
attention, so
Yeah.
I'll definitely look into
It wouldn't
that.
have been noticed other than New York City hadn't shut it down. It was a big headline, and I don't know, it may have been the Times, may have been the Journal, but yeah, they're just not allowing it, school system.
But I think there was a segment on 60 Minutes too, just about this AI and, you know, what it's gonna do and the impact. And so the information is slowly getting to us. So there's a lot for us to consider.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you're right.
Anything else?
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, John. The roof.
So I passed out to all of you this one here. As you have requested in the past, you want to review RFPs and approve them at the board level. So this is the RFP for the design professional for the roof. Obviously, the first 4 or 5 pages or so are boilerplate. And it's not until the end where you actually see the specification on the design professional. I did not use the AI program, but
You just cut and paste it.
I cut and paste, right?
Can this get sent to Marissa for the people
Oh,
who
yeah.
have it? Just so that she
I-
can,
You
for
have
the
it
board member
electronically.
that's on.
Do you want me to?
I can do it.
I was gonna say, do you want me to go scan it? I can go.
Yeah, if you can scan it to
Yeah.
Josh, that would, or Marissa.
I'll scan it to
Yeah.
both.
Yeah, unfortunately, this wasn't ready for when the packet came out, so.
Last page is supposed to be blank.
I think it just
Yeah.
got copied that way.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
that's.
got copied.
Yeah.
The next
Sorry.
one,
We're not missing.
August is in capital A.
Okay, keep on the
One before
one
that,
before it.
first paragraph, 4th line down. On the right-hand side.
Thank you.
That's just a glance, I haven't looked at.
Wonder if AI fixes those things.
No, the good thing is, believe it or not, our steel prices are down about almost 40%.
And this
So that's for your perusal, and that would, pending, we'd put it on as an action item at the board level to approve that, and then we would select the dates to go out to the bid for this. That's it for the rule.
Jess, you don't have it yet, she scanned
She
it.
doesn't have it yet.
It's coming, Jess. We promise. I didn't mean to leave you out.
It is basically a cut and
Yes,
paste
both of these documents, I was gonna send it to you.
RFP. It's good.
Well, why we write the we got?
No, I'm, listen, it's-
I looked at a bunch of them, and I pulled all the pertinent information and
Yeah.
put it together.
Good, Jess?
What?
Did you get it?
Nope, coming right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
What is that?
I gotta change the school year.
Yeah,
There's a couple of other things that we'll
number
just
13.
edit through, yeah.
Actually, I'll have to leave that. That'll have to get blanked out. That will actually, the school year will have to get blanked out, because we don't know that will happen in this upcoming year. There's a whole process to get to it, so.
Project overview?
That's, yeah, that would make more sense. The last 2 pages. Emerus, did you get it to send it? Did you send it?
I sent it to
Rachel?
both of you guys. You should have gotten it. He got it,
Oh,
so.
I have it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, if you look at the very first paragraph in project overview, it says attachment 1. You've already been sent all that. That is going to be, the attachment's going to be the structural analysis done by Gail. All right, so I just didn't copy it and put it in here because more redundancy and a lot more trees that we're wiping out.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. You good, Jess?
I think it just came through.
I like your Christmas tree.
I was just gonna say, you still be.
I still have my tree up. I'm sharing Christmas with everybody. Still Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Jess?
I mean, I received it. I obviously can't like read it and absorb it, but nobody,
It's boilerplate. We'll get it as they come in anyway, so.
yeah, it's fine.
All right. RPTNS roof, southwest driveway update.
Okay, so for the southwest driveway, we did bring a proposal forward about putting some extra parking spaces there. Went back to Jeremy, obviously things changed with the amount of coverage that's on the site. So we did go to have a discussion with Officer Baldus, who is the traffic officer, who has given us 8 parking spaces on the one-way street. We signed them. We paid for the lineage of the spaces, and we paid for the signs that identify the spaces as parking only during school hours between 7:30 and 4:30. So we gained 8 parking spots, which really, at this point now, I think with the way we've laid all the parking out, we're really only short 1 spot. And there's some potential to
We're
work on.
finding ways to
Yeah,
make that work.
there's
Yep.
some potential to work on that, some additional spots in the spring. With
Could
the
use
traffic.
previous papers if you want to. There's only 2 or 3 out of it. You can't stop us if we do that, but that's just my suggestion. You think about it anyway. Or we're gonna do it before.
So that's the street that's across from,
It's the one-way street that's adjacent to the bus drop-off area.
Forget the name of the street, not Turner.
Um,
If you're
Yeah.
pulling
There's
out
the- yeah,
before you
it's
get to the
Cooper.
school, it's on
Right.
the right, but it's one way, you can only
Cooper
come out. You
right,
can't go into it
It's
that way.
Cooper Street.
like from East Main,
Yes,
come around,
right.
right? So coming towards
You're good.
Torrington, it's on the left, across from.
Southwest.
Southwest,
Oh, Southwest School.
right.
Oh,
Southwest
gotcha,
School.
Gotcha, okay.
Oh.
I'm thinking
So when you're in the
Torringford School.
back,
For some reason, Torringford School, I was thinking
Yep.
Southwest,
Right.
gotcha.
that's where they
Yes.
have the problem.
So
Right.
we've really alleviated a lot of the issues by getting those spaces. So was a very inexpensive way
Yeah.
to provide us with some spaces.
Yeah, it was nice of Sergeant Baldus to work with us on that
Yep,
as well.
he's great to work
He's
with.
a good guy. East School update. Are any questions, I guess, on that? Southwest. East School update?
Okay, so as you know, over the break, East Schools was transferred ownership to Ed Advance. Jeff Kitchens has been nice enough to allow us to get back in there, and there is some furniture in there. Sue and I did a tour of the building, and we've kind of identified the things that we need to take out of there. The remainder of the furniture, there's limited furniture that's pretty much been picked through for the past 5 years. So there's not much up there, but there is some stuff that we want to save. So they're going to give us a month to get the stuff cleaned out. We've basically turned over all of the contracts to them. Scott will certainly talk to you more about different things with the contracts and finances and stuff like that. But most of that stuff's been turned over. We've received back any adjustments or corrections in any of the contract for trash, for instance, right? That's now already been adjusted. So going forward, our trash bill is reduced by almost $500 a month. So that's.
So we pick up on trash, we're picking up on power. They weren't paying everything, were they? We were picking, I don't remember the deal, but.
Yeah,
we
so
still
they
had
were
some costs.
reimbursing, they were reimbursing, so already the power has been transferred into their name, so it'll be city sewer, city water is all going into their name. There's the landscaping and the snow plowing, all of that stuff's we're already working on adjustments on all of that. So there's quite a bit to transferring, there's the alarm, the fire alarm, all of those things, so. So we've been working on that. So we got about a month. Sometime in the next month, we will pull a group of the custodian staff together, possibly led by Christopher J. Paganini. My right hand man over there, to clean out what's left, maybe do a weekend day where we pull a bunch of guys together and we'll clean out what's left and find places for it. At this point, we kind of know where a lot of it's going.
Right, and then they will just get rid of whatever is left over. We are going through some of the books as well, just classroom libraries, especially for new teachers. They're having an opportunity to go up there and check things out.
Bonfire for the football game.
And
We're
just
not
to
burning
follow,
much.
Not the books, I meant the furniture. I didn't think.
Just to follow on
Yeah.
what John was saying, so they pay the US hauling themselves, they pay the sewer to the city themselves, they pay the water themselves, they reimburse us. For the oil, they pay electricity, and then plowing, obviously, they reimburse us, and the landscaping, so.
We don't have the aggravation of doing anything anymore, which is
Right.
any unexpected expenses
Yes.
that we can't get the money back for.
We won't get a call this winter that there's
Right.
no heat up there.
The director of facilities was in my office, and I transferred a lot of stuff over to him, drawings and all that stuff, and he shook his hand in a way I wished him good luck.
Yeah. They did mention in the agreement, I did send this to the board, that even if at some point they sell the building, they will continue to provide services to our students with every intention of staying within Torrington.
Lost FOIA update.
So as you know, we did receive a grant. This was on the school security grant, and included in that was some of the locked foyers. TMS, the locked foyer, all of the architectural design has been done for the TMS foyer. So that one's ready to go out to bid for. We'll do the RFP and bring it to this board, obviously, to get that done for this summer. The other one that will be done for this summer is Torrington. That one, architectural design is being done on that one now. So once we get that back, we'll have both of those RFPs put together, and we'll get out, and both of those projects should be completed this summer. So, and the money is still available, and that's obviously that's the reimbursement difference was 72% versus our percentage, which 28 or whatever it is. So that's what it is. But I think that's already kind of been figured. A lot of that's been
Right,
figured out
we did that in
through
previous meetings.
different funding and everything. So we're all set on that. But I just wanted to update you that Torrington is now under architectural design, and we should see RFPs. I would think by the March meeting at the latest, we'll have RFPs for that to approve, and then we'll go right out for bid. And that will give us enough time to get contractors set up for the summer.
Any questions? Still quick, I thought so.
I have one, sorry, it won't be long.
Always one.
I have a question that's not related to that, so I'll let Pam do that.
So mine is kind of related to this, just as we're locking putting the locked foyers and making the schools more secure. When looking at the facilities on how we tighten up entrance and dismissal, could we maybe look at a future meeting, meaning that if school starts at 10:09, are we locking every other door at that time and forcing people into this locked foyer? Now that we're going to have an actual locked foyer, so not for tonight, but maybe for a future meeting, just so that we can all get a better understanding of how that would work.
Sure.
Yeah.
John is also working, we've resurrected the safety committee meetings, and so really reviewing some of those real basic things as
Right.
well, entering, exiting, just protocols and procedures, making sure as safe as possible. So
Right.
I'm sure when he discusses that, he can talk with.
Yeah, the best part about the
Principals and
safety
reps from those
committee,
areas, too.
we have a district-wide safety committee now, and we are meeting once a month. Initially, we thought it was going to be that we would meet a couple of times a year. But the committee itself said, hey, look, we're never going to get anything done at a couple times a year. So we want once a month. So we are meeting now once a month. And it's basically to get rid of the assumptions on school security. So there's a lot of, well, I assume I have to do this, but because we haven't reviewed some of those types of protocols, or we haven't enacted some of those protocols in so long, there's some assumptions on some of the stuff that was even put into the all hazard school security policies that were put in place by the state, or the not the policies, but the procedures. So we're kind of, that was a baseline, and you had to build off of your baseline. So now that's what we're doing. We're building off our baseline. We're getting rid of some of those, well, I think this is what I'm supposed to do, get rid of the assumptions and put it down as this is what we're doing.
Who's on the committee? I'm sorry.
So we have reps from each one of the schools?
Yep. So it's myself, and then every school has a voice on it. So, and in this way here, so for instance, we have these flashcards that talk about the different types of things that happen in our building, right? And there was a little confusion over some of the language on some of those cards, and every building has a little bit of a different input to what that is. So we're trying to get commonality now on those, so that everybody has a clearer understanding of what is on those cards and what you need to do when we have to pull those cards out. So that's like one thing we're working on, but there's many things that we're addressing.
So the in and out of the building, to get back to your original question, yes, we will address.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's going to be an ongoing, continuing thing as long as I can keep it going, and I want to do it. I think it's important.
Just something that popped in my head, John, as we were talking about all this,
No.
is status of the walkie-talkies.
So I did have a conference call with the walkie-talkie rep yesterday. Thank you, Rachel, for all the help. She's very good. And currently the walkies are being programmed for each one of the sites. They have the counts. They know the way that the channel configuration is going to go now. So we have all the channels figured out as of yesterday. And the expectation is, actually, I'm going to Norcom tomorrow morning because there's something that they would like to show me on the use of the administration walkie-talkie about getting to the emergency channel. There's a certain way to do it, and they wanted me to see that firsthand to see if that would work for us. My expectation is that we could probably see the walkie-talkies in our buildings completely, probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So long, daunting task.
There's a celebration when that
Yeah,
happens.
really.
Yeah, believe me.
But at least you got them. We tried to get some,
Great.
and it's like 6 months.
We got them.
Yes.
I threatened
So
people.
long.
Thank you.
Took a long time, but I'm glad to hear it. We're getting them, so good job. Thank you.
Oh, let's see. Any other questions? There we go. Contact for future meetings.
Nope.
No, the
You
amended,
didn't write
Oh,
down your.
the new legislation.
I put it to the bottom, but I didn't.
So there is new legislation. Originally, this came out in committee, and it died in committee, and then they found another way to stuff it down.
Into the legislation.
Exactly. So what they actually did was they put this into the, it's actually under the responsibilities of the Board of Education. And it's a unfunded mandate. Be careful what you say, Gare. And I highlighted the things that are important really in here. It's a very long, dry read on this. It's actually several more pages longer than this, but a lot of that is not necessary. But Prior to January 1st, 2024, and every 5 years thereafter, a local regional board of education shall provide a uniform inspection and evaluation of the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems for each of the school buildings under its jurisdiction. I also highlighted the A through H. Those are all the things that have to be done. What this means is that it has a budget implication for this coming year. I belong to Connecticut School Buildings and Grounds Association, which is similar to the superintendents in CASBO, and CASBO's had a extensive discussion about this. I don't know if the superintendents have or haven't. I did see some of the information that came out of CASBO. Our group in the January meeting, which is coming up in 2 weeks, is the whole discussion, the meeting is going to be about this. The problem is that everybody's all over the map with what to budget for. Typically, with my knowledge and my history of dealing with, right under the highlighted section at the top, it says such an inspection and evaluation shall be performed by a certified testing, adjusting, and balancing technician. So when we did projects with my former company, typically a project of about 50,000 square feet in testing and balancing runs about $25,000. So if you're looking at our buildings, you might say that the middle school's testing and balancing might be,
A lot.
$80,000, and so the thing is I am working on this to try to come up with some kind of a number that we have to put to this year, because there is a requirement to put this in, and there is a requirement for us to tell the state of Connecticut that we've done this, right? There's a checks and balances portion to this. Everybody's in the same boat right now, and I sort of don't know how, because there's only about maybe 8 testing and balancing companies in the whole state.
Busy.
They're going to be very busy
Rich.
and very rich, right? So
They lobbied for it.
I really wanted you guys to be aware of this, because, coming up in Scott's meeting next, we're going to be talking about budget, and, when you start seeing these kinds of things in here, coming in, why is it that we're looking for this kind of money? Well, unfortunately, they found a way to take this out of that committee that it died in and stick it someplace else.
You have to reserve every year for this.
It's every 5 years.
I know, but you can't.
What we would have to do is we would have to have a budget line item that we would have a carryover like we do with the field. Because otherwise you're
Probably
gonna,
just as much, if not
right, because otherwise you're gonna see every 5 years, you're gonna see this wave in your budget that you don't really want to see, right? You're gonna see this large number. I talked to Pat Bradbury from Milford School System. They have 14 buildings. They went in with a $500,000 number for this testing and balancing, and their Board of Education shut it down and said, no, we're not doing 500,000. And they kind of, I don't know where it's all going to go, but it's my job to bring it forward to you guys and let you know that this is what's on the horizon.
Well, what culpability do we have if the state requires that the city owns the buildings, they refuse to pay for it? What can we do?
Well, that remains to be seen. So
Right.
we'll have to
Yeah.
gather more information on it. It's totally
You can
new.
only ask. Right.
Boards of education throughout the state are reeling from this because it
Yes.
was slipped in at the last moment, and now it's like, oh my God, what do we
Yeah,
do?
and
Can we get
also,
this sent electronically to
No.
Marissa too?
Yep.
Is this the entirety?
form?
of this
it's not the
section?
entirety. I can get you the whole entirety of it. It's just it's sort of the first and most pertinent sentence. And then
Yeah,
it goes
well,
into definitions after this.
Yeah,
and-
I don't know that it actually, does it actually obligate us to immediately remediate? Or does
No.
it just obligates us where appropriate to use the licensed
No.
contractor.
No, what it obligates us to do is to do the test inspection, and then it obligates us to look at developing long-term capital plans in order to fix these
Right,
problems.
so it doesn't require the immediate expenditure to fix it. We just
Absolutely.
need to plan for the testing.
That's right.
But like you said, it might be
Well, it's more tolerable
400
than
grand.
what it originally was.
I think we have to look into it a little bit more too, because I was on a conference call and this had come up and the question arose, what, if any, penalties or anything are there if, you decide that you can't afford to do the testing or that you can't do the testing. So I think we really have to look into it.
Yeah.
To see, not that, we want everybody coming home as safe as they are when they go in. But a lot of districts don't have the money to, or can't afford this kind of testing because, John said the numbers are big.
There's also a gentleman that's on the state, the EPA board, who turned around and to the CASBO group and to CSBGA group, my group, posed a question about the approach to this, and wanted to hear feedback from both CASBO and us, and they were going to take those questions into consideration. There was actually some very interesting questions that were posed on this. Some of them were simple questions, but some of them were actually quite detailed with, down to funding, down to, how reports, who's looking at reports, all, right, so.
Nobody.
So I'll reach out to the state too,
Yeah.
to get some more information.
Well, let's
We just wanted to make you aware.
Yeah, this is, I just want you to be
new.
aware, because this, at some point, we're gonna have to come up with some kind of a number for this.
All right. Topics for future meetings.
I'm just happy I didn't get kicked because the meeting went long.
Well, everybody, ONG wants to re-engage on that security system that they brought in, except they have a video and all kinds of other things, so I told them I would, see if we can, we did it for facilities,
It's
didn't we?
facilities,
It was
I would do
facilities.
it, yeah.
So we'll schedule that for another meeting.
The mutual link?
Mutually, that's what it was, yes.
Yeah. So if it's, one of the videos, I think, probably needs to be put on for executive session. So just when you do it, have it in executive session.
Yeah.
Just because of the.
Update on the RFP for security foyers, walkie-talkies.
It's on the roof.
Anything else?
No off the top of my head right now.
All right, comments for the good of the order. Ed? John?
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
Very efficient meeting.
Kim?
I'm good.
Rachel?
All set.
Ellen?
All set.
John?
What's that?
Sandy?
I'm good.
Chris?
Nope, nothing.
Jess?
Jess.
I forgot about Jess, sorry.
I don't have anything, so thank you though.
Jess, you got anything? Melissa? Anything?
Take it over for John.
Motion to dismiss.
Six,
Come on.
All in favor?
yeah, Ed and John.
Bye.
Now we have to sit for 20 minutes.